If you are logging into my team today, this is what matters. Welcome to Monday, y'all. We have some new challenges. Plus, depending how your weekend went, you may have a lot of Winter Festival pieces. It's time to start thinking, what are we going to do with them and lining up our shots? Let's dive into it. First off, get your dailies done. It's a free 5,000 MT. You can see in the top right, I'm really starting to stack some up. And if you just stick to the game and keep after, your dailies and weekly challenges, it starts happening pretty quick. Exhibitions as well, get as many as you can done. They're easy, they're free rewards. I won't go through and do them all right now, but I will come back and get those done. I do promise that. As far as challenges, still nothing new in Season 3 tab. The season is winding down. New season starts, I believe it's going to be January 9th or January 10th, right there on that Friday. So about 10 days or so. So I'm not sure. I'm sure we'll see something else come in here, maybe a spotlight at some point, but still take advantage of this Hall of Fame badge. And Fred VanVleet and Porzingis, you can get some of these ornament balls, which are worth probably around 1,000 MT. So stack your challenges, get these done, keep building out your collection. And if you are trying to get a season mode completion from one of these two tabs, got about 10 days, so it's definitely coming down to the wire. I will not be getting one on either of these tabs, but if that is you, make sure you prioritize it. Weekly challenges, nothing new, but it does look like that Kevin Garnett finally expired. He wasn't the best card, but if you did get him, that's fine. It will help build your collection. I did end up getting him just for, the collection. This Fears and Queen only has 2 days left. I talk about him all the time, and we, are sniping these guys on the auction house all the time. But I recommend getting a free pair. You might as well. And so you got about 2 days to get that done. A lot of people are having fun with this Kenny and Shaq. They're not super meta per se, but man, that Shaq on the pick and roll, he is quite dominant. It's a fun card to use. And people are using this Devin Vassell and even that Karl Anthony Towns. I played King of the Court this weekend and played against that Karl Anthony Towns. So they're not great, but hey, why not? Free cards. You probably already got them if you've been playing the game. And of course, grab this Halliburton. You should have plenty of time to do that though. For Winter Festival, we got another challenge, which is great. The Steph Curry one was relatively easy. If you played, breakout on rookie, you should have been able to get those 4-point shots even without a takeover. Warriors win super easy. Just need a couple more stats from him. As of yesterday, this flag was still glitched, where the amethyst flag is not working. It's not just you if that's an issue. The emerald does work. I'm guessing not everybody has that emerald. Hopefully his price isn't too high in the market just for this one challenge. So don't go spending, 20,000 MT on an emerald flag. They should fix this with plenty of time. We still have about 10 days left in this festival. It goes to January 9th, so we're not even halfway through when you really think about it. But the new one today is Jokic. And this one actually might be the most time-consuming one we've had because he needs a triple-double. And you really can't get that done in Breakout. If someone's able to get a triple-double in Breakout, send that clip to me. I don't know how you would do it. You definitely couldn't do it in Triple Threat. And in Clutch Time, that would be insane. So you're probably going to have to play Domination. Or, just quickly, I will say there is a good challenge game that if you have not played this game yet here, hopefully my face isn't covering too much of the good stuff. This signature challenge, you actually need to get a triple-double. 46 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists. I already got it done, but it gives you a free Hall of Fame badge. Definitely worth it. You could probably get it done with Jokic being your player getting 46, 12, and 11. I think it's on a pretty easy difficulty, so something to think about if you're able to get that done in that challenge. You'd really be making the most of your grind, and it's always good just to think like, what can you stack challenges? But if not, and this is what I'll do, I'll just hop into a domination game. I'll put in Jokic, Curry, and Flag, and then whatever other lineup I need. And I'll play one domination game. I'll probably use one of the, accelerator pieces. What are those even called? Those game changers. I don't know if you guys have a bunch of those game changers, but I definitely do. And I don't even use them all that much. Here they are. You can see I have a ton. So use these when it's relevant. Like if I am playing Showdown or something. But I can definitely at least get a double rep, and I might do the double MT, because you can get 5,000 MT from a domination game if you use one of these game changer cards. So just make the most out of the grind. I do think it is worth it to do the Jokic one. Hypothetically, if you were going to skip one, it could be this, just because it can't really be done in breakout, and some of you guys might be grinding breakout right now for exchange pieces. So just whatever makes the most sense for you. But if you want to, you could probably knock out a good portion of all these. Say you haven't got your Mavericks wins yet, put 3 Mavericks on the bench, put 3 Warriors on the bench, and then you could even have 3 Nuggets on the bench, and you could stack it that way. But go ahead and get it done, and those pieces will keep adding up, and we have so much time left. We really might be having a lot of pieces at this point, where maybe you can get 2 of those high-end rewards, especially if 2K decides to drop another Galaxy Opal reward. Wouldn't be surprised if they put at least a pink diamond in here again, maybe another Galaxy Opal. We'll have to see. With that, keep focused on your season grind. It's always good to check in on that. We have about 10 days left, so if you're trying for 250 wins in Park, or you're doing a breakout or showdown, just keep on top of that. I'm getting mine done in All-Star. I do have to grind that a bit these next 10 days. I need 20 wins, so that's 2 wins a day. Hopefully I can get some 5-game streaks in there and get it done a little quicker. But I'm definitely mapping it out, as you should as well. Those season exchange pieces are worth it, even if you're just getting legend badges. Not sure if you all played King of the Court. We kind of talked about it. I did a deep dive on it yesterday. We don't need to review it too much, but you can pull that video up if you are curious about the points. We'll definitely talk about it again next weekend. I was tier 3. I didn't try to make the push to tier 2, even though I was just like 400 or 500 points away. Just didn't seem worth it, but I am happy to take that pink diamond piece and that 92 plus, and let's do a rare Big D pack opening. We'll go quick open, and we get a Daryl Dawkins. Don't think he's the best card, but I don't think he's the worst card, so I will take a Daryl Dawkins. Maybe put him in for badges, but I might just lock him in because, hey, he's probably a fun card. He's in that Dunktober set. Guessing he's a big, strong dude who can dunk the ball and play some defense and probably can't shoot. But hey, those cards can be fun too. But we got that pink diamond piece, which is great. I was also able to secure a dark matter piece in Park yesterday. I had a lot of success in Park. I got the streak done early in the morning. I played with a buddy who I just logged on and he was on, so we squatted up and we actually won 10 in a row pretty quickly. And then I took a break for a bit, hopped on later with my buddy Zakian. I'll actually throw a little clip up from our game there, and him and I won 5 in a row. So I actually got a deluxe pack from that and a Hall of Fame badge, and I got the dark matter piece. So a lot of success in Park yesterday, and the whole day, all 15 games, and I won all of them, was with my man Camara. He is absolutely a great card, particularly in Park. If you play him and your other 2 teammates are bigs. I was playing with Moses Malone and Paolo in the first set, and then the second one, Moses Malone and KD. The second one was with Jabari Smith and Paolo, and this guy can just be he can essentially be the point guard and guard the other team's point guard so well. I was guarding Giddey and Shea, Galaxy Opal Shea, and just having a ton of success. 95 perimeter defense, 95 steal, and look at his agility. I mean, that's 96. Those are the stats that really impact defense. It's agility, almost as much as perimeter defense, and then of course your badges and steal. I mean, this card right here is arguably the best defensive guard. He has to at least be in the conversation. Maybe he's equal with like a Ron Artest or something like that, but he's completely free, and these stats are no joke. And on offense, he's not a liability at all. I mean, he hit almost all of his open threes. His driving dunks, 85, but he dunks, and he has all the badges you need for that. So I'll get off my soapbox, as the saying goes, but this card is great. Had a ton of success with him in Park yesterday, and that was a lot of fun. And that does bring us to these pieces because, at this point, I think I have like 13 pink diamonds, maybe 14. So I'm in a pretty good spot. I keep downgrading everything into pink diamonds because what I'm eyeing is, probably going to cost pink diamonds. And I'm still kind of debating and mapping things out. I'm pretty much ignoring these things. And this legend badge, I think I'm going to skip to. A lot of people have opened it. It's 1 badge, and that's just a bit high. I think I'd rather just, even if I end up getting Mobley along with a pink diamond, I think I'd rather that than just 1 legend badge. But the cards I'm definitely eyeing first are going to be these pink diamonds. we'll see how my lineup evolves. I do have a need at point guard right now, and I'm kind of set in other positions, at least for a bit. So I'm just going to be strategic, and we have so much time. So I might be able to get like Ray Allen and Jabari Smith, and maybe even a Galaxy Opal. It just really depends. If I play King of the Court next week, and there will be another Dark Matter piece in the park next week. So just map it out, guys. There's still a lot of resources coming. But at the same time, you know, if there's just a card you want, you don't necessarily have to wait and go ahead and make that purchase. But let me know down below. I'm really curious. What are you all getting? Has somebody got this Ray Allen? Let me know what you think about him. I've seen this Jabari Smith Jr. hoop. I'm pretty confident in that card's abilities. And I've seen this Mobley play a lot. I haven't seen too many people use the Scotty Barnes, but someone yesterday told me they really like him. So really curious what y'all are doing here. My mindset is just keep on stacking, and eventually we're going to come in here and just start, you know, buying a whole bunch of stuff. And I'll probably have plenty of leftover for some of these lower tiered things as well. Now, before we dive into the auction house, you know, I'm curious how 2K is going to do things. We're in a bit of a lull, and by the time you watch this video, we should, you know, potentially, you know, depending what time, I usually get these out midday. And in the evening, they usually will do a release of what's coming tomorrow, Tuesday. And I'll flash up what they did last year. And last year, the Tuesday after Christmas, you know, they did their Friday drop and then they did their Tuesday drop, pretty much like normal. It was a pretty big set. It was a pretty big set. Let me see exactly what it was called. It was a pretty big set. It was called Countdown, and it was 22 cards. And there was good cards. It was a Galaxy Opal Clyde Drexler, Galaxy Opal Russell Westbrook, Galaxy Opal Kareem. You know, it won't be the same exact cards, but those are, you know, big name top tier cards. They dropped a pink diamond Shea. So hypothetically, I think tomorrow we get something, either a new set or maybe a wild gem. Tomorrow could be wild gems. We don't know. So there's a bit of uncertainty this afternoon, and just keep that in mind in the auction house. With that said, I do think now is a really good time to be moving and grooving in the auction house, particularly with cards 100,000 and less. I have been making a ton of purchases and a ton of sales. I'm bidding on a lot of cards. A lot of these cards I'm winning. This is a bit more of a sell stage. I pretty much sold everything that I've been bidding on. This Sonya I won for 50K. These pink diamond WNBA cards, there's a lot of value there, and we'll look over some filters. This Okongwu I got below 70. He really dipped right after that Tis the Season set, but I knew how good of a card he was, and he's not that common, so he kind of, you know, peaked back up. He's a little bit lower today, but as long as you find your sale window, and that's why I always recommend, if you're listing something on a buy now, list it for 24 hours, because throughout the day there's huge fluctuations. And a good example is Derek Queen, and here's a couple more sales. I bought both those guys for like 14, so just a quick little, you know, 3-4K. But this Derek Queen card, let's just dive right into that, because I like talking about specific players that you guys can, you know, monitor to make MT. And whether you use my specific players or if you have your own little secret list, you know, I share my secrets. Not all you guys are making content, so if you got your own personal list of cards you're just, you know, checking in daily, perfect. That's exactly what you should be doing. But look, yesterday we were searching this card. There was like 15 of them up. Now there's literally 0. And I didn't buy that many of them. I bought like 3 because I got good prices. I got all these Derek Queens for 15 to 20K. I sold 2 last night for 40K. And now I have 3. And I pretty much own the market. You know, at the time of this video, I pretty much own the market. So what I did is I came in and kind of set my own price. I didn't get too greedy and be like, hey, Derek Queen's price is now 70K. I saw him at 30 yesterday. So I know, hey, there is a bit of a bottom there. But I've also seen him at 80, 90, you know, not that long ago. So I own the 3 Derek Queens that are up right now. I listed 2 at 58 to set the ceiling a little high, and then I put 1 at 55. And I'm hoping the 55 sells for sure. And if the 58s don't sell, then I'll probably list them both at the same time, 1 a little higher, 1 a little lower, to make that lower one look like a good deal. Hopefully someone comes in and sees the 55 and thinks they have a bit of a snipe there. But the point is, on a day-to-day basis, some of these cards can be in higher volume and in lower volume. I don't know if 2K, you know, goes up and down with, you know, certain players and pack odds. Like maybe yesterday a lot of packs were getting ripped and Derek Queen was flying out, and now today it's a bit quieter. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if anybody really knows the answer to that, but the point is, you know, be aware of trends and, volume of cards. If you go and look at a card and there's just not many of it, it's a good opportunity for you to be able to sell it at some point if you can buy one at a decent price. Let's go ahead and check in on Buzeles. You can see he's a little bit lower in volume, but his price is kind of sneaking up. I see one there at 53. That could be even a little bit low, but he was down in the 40s, so there's definitely opportunity, if you're sitting on Buzeles and cards like that. And so have your list. We reviewed a lot yesterday, and a good way to do it is just go through some recent sets, find cards that people like to use, like this Danny Granger I made MT on. The way I made MT on him, because there's actually no buyouts, but some people just let a really badged one up slip through, and I won him for 115, and I put him right back up when he sold for 160. That's a little bit more dangerous. Like I said, I like to hone in on those buy now cards, but you can do it with certain pink diamonds. Here's Okongwe. Now there's a bit more up. I sold mine at 90. It looks like right now he might not sell at that price, but it's just because I put him up for 24 hours, and at a certain point last night there was some low in volume and people liked the one that they saw, so I'm able to make 20k MT just from a little bit of timing. But this is a great card to come and to say, hey, is there anything I can make a bid on? I see a few, like this one's at 500. He has a one extra Hall of Fame badge, a couple, if I can get him like 40, 45, that's a huge snipe. So let's go ahead and bid that. I have successfully bid. Keep an eye on your list of players. There's a lot of ways to make MT just through this. We will look at more filters. I know we're doing some deep dives on the auction house, but it is exciting stuff, at least to me. And I'm already just thinking, hey, I'm having success with these pink diamond WNBA players. Here's a new filter I'm using. Pink diamond, and just filter through every team. And not every team even has one. But if you see, like here, if I saw one of these, for the most part, they're selling at 100K. These ones that go on bid, people aren't really bidding them up above 100K. But with these ones will probably both sell. And so you can even be conservative and not have to list whatever you buy at 100K. But as long as you're buying like 60 to 70 and below, you're in a pretty good spot. And that's what I got that Sonia Citron on. We're not seeing really any good opportunities right now, but if you go onto one of these, and for whatever reason, if someone started the bid a bit lower than 100K, or has a buy now down in the 50s or 60s, go ahead and grab it. Here's an example of where you might want to be a little hesitant though, because I'm seeing so many of these Emmas up, and I see one down at 66. So if I bought the one at 66, I would need to list at 75 to make profit. And I see 3, 4, 5 up. So a bit riskier. You don't want to go buy all 4 of those at 70K and then try to, corner the market. I just don't think she's high enough in demand, and she's not a meta card. So that would be a bit too much of a risk. But if there was only one Emma up, at like 60, I might grab it and just list it at 80 because it's the only one up. And that's what I did with that Sonia Citron. You can see she's pretty rare. There's pretty much none up, and there is one at 99 that's not selling. But in my mental note, hey, I sold one at 80. So that's where I'm starting to hone in on her price. Okay, I think she will sell 70 to 80. So as long as I get around 50 to 60, I'm going to be in a place where I can make profit. This Grinder's a bit elevated. She's actually getting bid on. But this Nafisa Collier, like here's a great one. And if you guys, depending when you watch this video, you might be able to outbid me. I will easily bid, 65 on her. And a pretty good chance I don't get outbid. Like how many people are on midday bidding on pink diamond WNBA players? And if I win her at 65, I will list her for 24 hours, probably at like 90K. And I'll be honest, I'll be surprised when I wake up tomorrow if she's not sold. So that could be an easy 20, 30K. And it takes me, if I wasn't monologuing through this whole thing, I could probably flip through these in like a minute. This new one is a bit riskier. This, I'm not sure why. That might be some funny business. The fact that this card's bid up to 280,000, definitely an anomaly. Just don't even pay attention to it. But I do see that there's only 2 listed here, and they are at 59 and 58. So here's one on bid. I'm not too high on this card, but I think she'll at least sell for like 45. It's not higher. That's good enough for me. I don't want to bid up to 40. I think that's getting too close to my profit margin. So I'll just move right along. None in Dream. And then let's just see if there's an Aces Pink Diamond. There's one. Not enough room for profit in my opinion. So we'll move right along. There's all. So we have a couple tips here. One, just go to your collection and look for those meta cards from the past sets, your Okongwus, your Buzeleses, your Spencer Dinwiddies, cards like that, and just understand their bottom. Try to find a bid or try to find what you consider a snipe, depending on how many are available and what that kind of price range is. The last thing we'll talk about as far as tips to make some moves in the auction house right now today on Monday is this tis the season, and it's going to be the diamonds, because they have been in packs now for a good number of days and people are ripping them, and these diamonds are just really cheap. There's two ways to go about this. One, I won a bunch on bid yesterday for like 6 to 10K. I bid maybe 9K on every one of them, and I didn't win all of them, of course, but I won a lot. And here's even one for 9. You could probably just buy that and put him up for 10.5 and make 500 MT. But I'd rather go bid. And so yeah, their price is around like 9, 10K, which is really low for diamonds. So you can go in and just bid on them around, not a ton of people are bidding these up. That's the thing. So I'll come in here and just go like, maybe even a little lower, because I do want to get some good deals. Yeah, like this one. I'm just going to bid like 8,500 on this guy. And I really might not get outbid, because like how many people are sitting on filters just trying to bid up these low-end tis the season cards? So a lot of times you're going to win these with like 5,000-6,000 MT back. Not every time, of course, especially the ones that already have a little bit of a high bid on it. Like I wouldn't even always bid on that Austin Reeves, but he is a bit higher. But this Podol definitely has, not too much demand. So he's very able to, get a good bid on him. Cool. So the point is you can get these guys for like well under 10K. But let's just go one set back. And I was talking about this on stream yesterday if you all were there. Just one set back. I'm not going that back far in time. One set back, what's the cheapest diamond? And let me tell you, it should be quite a bit more than that 10, 9K that we're seeing. And what's interesting is, when this set was in pack not that long ago, their diamonds were at really about that same price. You could get these guys for like 10 to 13K. And it's just a simple matter of supply and demand. Once cards go out of packs, their supply goes down. So if there is some demand for them, they're going to go up in price. Right now, these Keyshawn Georges and Malik Monks, they're all selling for 20K. I'm not guaranteeing it, but wouldn't it make sense once tis the season gets out of packs that these prices shouldn't go up too? They're all sitting here at 9, 10K. I mean, wouldn't the cheapest ones at least go up to 15? So it wouldn't be a bad idea if you can come in. I would bid on this one, but he's got 24 hours later. Come in and try to buy these guys from 7 to 10K. Worst case scenario, you flip them at 11 to 12 and make like 1,000 MT. But if you're willing to be patient, sit on them for a few days, maybe even a week. And just monitor, is the same thing that happened to these flash diamonds going to happen to these tis the season diamonds? And they could easily double, and you could easily take this down to the amethyst level. And it might be even better with this tis the season, because these amethysts are just so good. And it still blows my mind that Kalkbrenner is that cheap, because he's a really good center. But if you look at amethysts from Flash, there's one that's probably even considered a snipe. I won't grab him. But the amethysts from Flash are usually at least 5,000-6,000. You can see the lower end Bobby Portis, he's about 5,000. So maybe not as much profit potential on the amethyst, but definitely for certain ones. And you can see none of these amethysts are nearly as meta as that Klingon and that Kalkbrenner. So I would be pretty comfortable getting Klingon and Kalkbrenner 4,000 and below. Pretty confident you could, flip those from 6 to 7,000 in like a week or so. That will be, it for the auction house. Definitely some good things to be buying, and keep an eye on wild gems, guys. There's just a huge uncertainty, but hypothetically there could be a big wild gem drop coming, possibly as soon as tomorrow. I'm hoping it is. At this point I'm really, pretty invested in diamond wild gems, and maybe you should spread it out across a few different tiers. But it looks like these diamond wild gems maybe are going up a little bit, so maybe people are thinking that a exchange is coming, because yeah, these guys were down in the young teens, like 13, 14, so they've gone back up to 17, 18. So maybe the winds are changing. I would expect a big drop tomorrow. Keep that in mind as you invest. My recommendation is, if you're buying stuff, one, do it on bids, and two, you may just want to try to flip here same day. That would probably be the safest, and there could be some big updates coming tonight about what's coming tomorrow. Good news is there will be a video tomorrow. We will break it down, whatever it might be. So tap in, guys. Hey, I appreciate all the support. The channel is growing. We got a lot of people coming from Reddit. I shout out to all those people. I appreciate all the comments. Hopefully these videos keep getting better and better. We're going to be investing in a little bit of equipment to get a little better quality here within the next week or so. So keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, just keep having fun with the game. Keep grinding. Let me know what y'all are focusing on. Much love and peace.